落ちた。好きな人が2人できちまったよ。誰だと思う？
I just watched the Chainsawman movie, and man, the series never fails to deliver with absolute bangers. For context, I read the first 3 volumes of the manga a couple months before season 1 of the anime dropped, but never got around to the end of the Katana Devil arc. Damn it, this movie made such a good impression on me that I'm considering picking it up again. There's a lot of different elements to this film, and let's start with the obvious being animation. Before I actually delve into the animation, I probably should let you guys know that there will be spoilers all across the board, and this film is new. So if you haven't seen the film, I heavily suggest do not watch this video. That aside, let us continue. This film is a feast of visual ambition. Produced by MAPPA, directed by Tatsuya Hoshihara, written by Hiroshi Seko, the movie carries over the TV series' kinetic energy but elevates it for the big screen. The animation shone a lot, and it displayed its fluidity and impact in moments such as the fight choreography, camera work, and transitions between emotional beats and brutal action. One of my favorite scenes in terms of a visual department is when Reze and Denji go to the festival. There's a portion when Reze holds Denji's hand through the crowd, and the way the colors come in together, along with the camera shaking / moving in a way that isn't too jarring, allows you to feel the bliss of the moment and the excitement they both had at that moment in time. The film also embraces a wide variety of colors, stylization, and moods in order to beautifully add to the experience of watching this. Some scenes tilt almost expressionistic, for example, sweeping reds, stark contrasts, surreal backgrounds, which amplify the emotional tone instead of mere spectacle. The soundtrack works in tandem with the visuals. Quiet piano motifs in intimate scenes, crashing electronics and guitars in combat. I know this is a given in movies. The way it was executed here was everything and more to me. Altogether, the animation doesn't merely serve the story, it amplifies it. The violence has weight, the romance has texture, and the world feels lived in yet surreal. At the heart of the film is the relationship between the protagonist Denji and the mysterious newcomer Reze. It's initially Reze who appears as a gentle cafe worker, offering Denji an escape from his brutal world. The scenes of the swimming, evening school fireworks, these craft a recognizable country rap meets city rap vibes. Denji, the rough, debt-ridden hunter, meets Reze, the soft, somewhat serene outsider. And the story gives us a day arc that almost feels lighthearted. The film uses this country rap meets city rap theme to brew deeper meaning. Denji is from the fringes, driven by debt, by Pachita's sacrifice, by violence. Reze represents something new, something with hidden power, hidden past, but also someone who draws Denji into vulnerability. In this sense, she brings out both his hope and fragility. Twist is brutal and heart-ripping. Reze is not the naive outsider in need of saving. She's a powerhouse with her own agenda. The moment she bites off Denji's tongue, reveals her hybrid form, and unleashes devastation. It rewrites everything you thought you knew about the relationship. That flip from romance to betrayal is executed not just for shock, but to deepen Denji's arc. He's caught between trusting and being used, loving and being weaponized. The sequence where Denji and Reze share fireworks, followed by the fall into the sea, this isn't just a romantic moment, it's a metaphorical plunge. Denji's hopeful normality sinks, literally. In short, the love story isn't filler, it's central. And its subversion gives Denji a richer emotional journey than many action movies give their leads. Another thing I love about Chainsaw Man that I feel is kind of unique to it compared to a lot of modern anime / manga is how honest / raw it is. The brains behind it, aka the mangaka, Satsuki Fujimoto, writes the story in such a way that is unique and true to himself. Mind you, I haven't read his other works like Fire Punch or Goodbye Eri, but from the little I have read and watched of Chainsaw Man, this man can freaking write. And it's not necessarily in the form of wise words of wisdom, speeches, or long pieces of unnecessary dialogue. For example, there were moments in which Denji was in deep thought about Reze post him getting betrayed by her. And in these moments you get to see him come to grips with his situation, but also fight with his problem. For those that know nothing about Chainsaw Man, Denji grew up poor, killed alongside Pachita, who is the reason he can turn into the Chainsaw Man devil, and essentially lives to please Makima and do simple daily activities. So how Tatsuki can write Denji in a way which he is simple but feels even real in his world is beautiful to me. Denji's not the only one like that. You also have Aki, who was assigned a new partner, the Angel Devil. Keep in mind, he hates devils, considering the gun devil, Reze, killed his family and scarred him for life. Throughout the whole movie, you can see him and the Angel Devil constantly bickering and feeling like real people whose morals lie on different sides of the scale. This continues on for the whole film until the end when fighting against Typhoon and Reze, and Aki sacrifices part of his lifespan to save Angel by touching his hand. This would seem out of character for him at first, but this reminded him of losing his own family and comrades along the way. So imagine him having to witness that again, right before his very eyes. Seeing this was beautiful as it felt natural and didn't change the way they acted entirely afterwards. Another one of my favorite scenes was the swimming scene. Not only was it gorgeous visually, but even better narratively. Denji learns to become more comfortable with a girl besides Makima and gets to kick back a bit to have a rest from his usual routine. But then to also have the image of the spider eating the butterfly and to parallel it with Reze and Denji swimming in the pool was beautiful to me. And then closer towards the end of the movie, having Denji sink them both and end their fight that way was a great callback to me, with him even saying, "You shouldn't have taught me how to swim." Damn, this film is beautiful. One of the most interesting undercurrents is the city rat versus country rat motif. It doesn't overly state he's from the country, she's from the city. Instead, it plays with outsider/insider expectation/reality. Now, let's talk about the action here. The fights are not just spectacle. They carry weight, character, and narrative. The final fight isn't just about who's stronger. It's about betrayal, heartbreak, and resilience. Each blow lands knowing what's at stake. Denji's heart, his trust, his will. The use of the setting was amazing. Car chase, the falling into the water, the seaside climax, all these aren't random. They symbolize collapse, escape attempts, and an irreversible plunge. I can't believe I didn't shout him out sooner, but Beam is the freaking goat, dude. He saved Denji more times than I could count, and his demeanor was so adorable around him. He was like a massive sea golden retriever. The film doesn't glamorize gore, it presents injury, pain, and emotional scars. Characters bleed, Denji is kicked, broken. The violence is meaningful. The action here feels earned. It carries risk. It leaves spaces to breathe. And when that chainsaw roars, you feel it. Also, that ending, I love how it explored the fact that Reze could have killed Denji a lot earlier initially. Even she admits to being confused by this fact. This was on her way back after Denji offered that chance to talk to her again. Unfortunately, she met her demise at the hands of Makima and the Angel Devil. Don't get me wrong, Reze was crazy for what she did. Ain't no doubt about it. But for the film to be able to make us empathize with her for even that brief moment to explore her unclear feelings was beautiful to me. What makes this film stand out is how it balances humor, horror, romance, and subversion. One moment you're at a cafe date, the next moment you're into a bomb-riddled street with body parts flying. The film plays it straight, then twists. There are still jokes, awkward moments, aka Denji being himself, camaraderie between the public safety hunters. These keep the film human. The film doesn't just tell a story. It plays with your expectations of romance, heroism, normalcy, and violence. I watched the Infinity Castle movie not that long ago. It's up on my channel, so you can see it like relatively soon. And this is up there for me in terms of quality. Narratively, it actually does more for me, but maybe once I come back to it in a few months/years, maybe I can give a more clear opinion. Hope y'all enjoyed this, and this is Black Sugar 11.